3 knocks hit my door, like a judge testing the gavel. Clean, heavy, confident. The kind of sound that tells you somebody decided your evening was already theirs. I wiped my hands on a dish towel and told myself it was a package, a fundraiser. Anything normal, then I opened up and saw 2 men in black vests with bright patches that read, Neighborhood Compliance Bureau. Radios clipped, but dark clipboards held like weapons. The tall one with a shaved head said, "My heart. You're in violation. You've got 48 hours to vacate," and I laughed. Not because it was funny, but because it was ridiculous. I paid this house off. I know the HOA president personally. I know what real notices look like, and they don't come with cosplay. You know what I mean? They tried lines that sounded practiced, the short one. Pushing a sheet of paper under my chin, like it was a court order. Default font. No letterhead, no signatures. Just a circle, printed to look like a seal. I asked for the code. And who signed it? Asked for the board, president's name. Asked for any number we could call on speaker. And the tall one gave me that tight smile people wear when they're sure you'll fold. We're not here to debate, sir. We're here to enforce. And the air got thick in that way it does. When a stranger is betting on your fear to do the heavy lifting, I've carried a certain kind of heat since I was a kid. The kind that builds when you're followed in a store for wearing a hoodie in winter. When people assume you're the problem before you've said a word. It rose in me, then leveled into something steadier. I told them they could step off my porch and drive away, or we could find out how fast the real police care about grown men playing dress-up. They backed toward their idling SUV with that slow walk that isn't retreat so much as reset. Sat there watching my windows while I locked my door and stood in my own living room. With my hands shaking from insult, not fear. I lifted the blinds, saw them still parked, and stepped back out because I wasn't going to be the guy peeking through slats while 2 counterfeits tried to write my story. If you're official, date your names. Say the code. Say who sent you. Put it on the record, I called. And the tall one came striding back like a TV detective. "You're asking a lot of questions for a man about to be homeless," he said. And I smiled. Small, the kind of smile that says, "I see you, but I'm not buying what you're selling." That's when I saw headlights ease around the corner. 3 vehicles I knew by silhouette, a little relief falling off my shoulders. Whether I wanted to show it or not, 6 friends who were supposed to roll through later. For ribs and cards, we're right on time for something else. Men. I met through a gym buddy and a handful of hard seasons. Former SEALs who speak low and hear everything. Jace Moreno with the steel eyes. Theo Pike, who tears bad logic apart faster than a rifle. Ronan Hale, who jokes when he needs to and goes quiet when it counts. Bishop Nguyen, who moves like he's thinking 2 steps ahead of the floor. Carter Flint, who never raises his voice because he never needs to. And Ezra Cole, who smiles like he's offering you 2 doors and will let you pick. They stepped out and the whole block got that still respectful, quiet, real authority brings when it wears calm instead of costume. What did we walk into? Malik. Jace asked without taking his eyes off the vests, and I nodded at the porch. They say I've got 48 hours to get out of my own house. The short one bristled at the word, gentleman. And Ezra laughed without opening his mouth. Carter took 2 easy steps. Hands visible. Voice gentle. Like he was asking directions, Neighborhood Compliance Bureau, huh? That's a new one. Got IDs that match those patches. Or is the printer cooling off back at headquarters? The tall one tried the power move. Official business doesn't concern you. Step aside, and Theo tilted his head. If it's official, then name the code site. The statute, turn those radios on. So we can all hear, dispatch, confirm your department. The pause that followed was 2 seconds too long. Neighbors drifted onto porches. Phones came up like periscopes. Bishop pointed with his chin at the seams. That stitching is hobby. Great boots, look fresh out of the box. That's not a crime, but it's a clue. The short one snapped. We're not here to debate uniforms. We're here to enforce rules. And Ezra's voice went soft. Perfect, enforce them by showing proof. By showing, I held up the paper they'd shoved at me, and Jace scanned it, held it high. For the block to see, default font. No seal, no letterhead, no signature, no case number, no contact. He folded it clean and slid it back into the tall man's vest, like a parent tucking a note into a backpack. If my nephew printed this for a prank, I'd still tell him to try harder. A ripple of laughter rolled down the sidewalk, the kind that knocks a bully off balance. The tall one leaned forward, reaching for any line left. You're interfering with an investigation. Federal penalties apply. And Ronan actually clapped once from pure disbelief. Federal man, the Homeowners Association is not a branch of government, and neither are you. He jerked his head at the SUV. Give us your supervisor's number. We'll put them on speaker and clear this up in 2 minutes. The short one said nothing. Jaw-working eyes flicking to the car like it might whisper a plan. Pride hates cameras, hates neighbors, hates men who don't flinch. Pride tries to spin the wheel one more time. Even after the road runs out, the tall one jabbed a finger at me. This isn't over. We'll be back, and Bishop's voice went low and flat. No, you won't, because next time it won't be us with phones. It'll be squad cars, and this whole block already has your faces from 6 angles. Pick a better hobby, and right on cue. We heard it, the distant wail that grows teeth as it turns the corner. Blue lights washed over the mailboxes, and the SUV 2 patrol cars slid in and boxed them. At the end of the street, doors. Popped hands hovered near holsters. Without drama, Sergeant Brooks stepped out with that old school. I've seen enough nonsense for one lifetime look. His partner swept a beam across the vests and the tossed gear. You two are going to tell me who dressed you and why. Brooks said the tall one tried to hit replay on his script. Compliance Division official notice, and Brooks cut him off with a palm. HOA isn't law enforcement, and my city didn't issue those. If you're serving anything official, you've got names, case numbers, real documents, show them. I raised my hand. Sergeant, they told me 48 hours to vacate, handed me a printout that wouldn't pass at a middle school play, parked on my block like they expected me to break first. The younger officer nodded, eyes moving from me to the crowd. And back, you know. Impersonating authority isn't a prank, right? It's a felony. And it ends in rooms you don't want to decorate. The short one tried a last flare. We never said police. We said bureau. And Ezra let a smile slip. That's like saying you didn't steal the car. You relocated it. Yeah, that happened. They cuffed them as gentle as cuffs can be. Read the rights in that calm cadence that turns adrenaline into paperwork. Neighbors murmured. Phones steadied and miss. Row from 2 doors down called wrong porch tonight. Not as an insult, but as a blessing relief that somebody stood still long enough for the truth to catch up after statements and contact info and the 100 little things that turn a moment into a case. The blue glow slid off the street, and we were left with regular evening again. Jace bumped my shoulder and said, "You held the line before we ever turned the corner," and I let the night answer for me, because my voice didn't feel steady yet. By morning, clips were on the Riverton Watch Group. A blurb ran in, "The Riverton Ledgerman man in fake vests detained after a attempted eviction scam." Which is a lot of words that mean they tried it and failed. The HOA president, Elaine, sent me a text before 9. "We don't do surprise visits. We don't own vests. We send letters and